Hey, my rhinos! Welcome back to the news you can use. For today's topic and special guest, Mr. Reed.
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
That's good. For our first topic is how State's Attorney Kim Foxx is not going to be running for re-election next year. Are you happy about that or sad about that?
I'm not necessarily happy or sad about it. I think sometimes people do things, right, and they learn a lot in the process, and then eventually they realize either this is not for me, or I can take all that I learned in this space and take it somewhere else. So I'm really excited that Kim Foxx is taking all of her skills and transitioning into a new role.
That's really good. And as we know, she is the first African-American woman state's attorney in the state of Illinois ever. So that's really special to us. She was also born and raised in Chicago, and we know she'll go on to do great things. Next, Miss Reed, do you know about TikTok?
I do not. Ryan, I'm old. No, I'm kidding. I'm not that old. But no, I mean, I know what TikTok is. I don't use TikTok. My wraparound is utilizing other platforms to watch TikToks, so then I can always say, I don't have a TikTok account. But yes, Ryan, I know what TikTok is.
Okay, so then, personally, since the state of Montana is banning, making it illegal to download TikTok on your phone, iPad, or laptop, I would go bazonkas if I lived in the state of Montana. Why?
Right. So they're trying to make the bill, right, make it illegal to download TikTok because we can't really censor. So as a third grader, right, as a young girl, I can't really censor what you're hearing or watching or seeing on TikTok. So Montana is saying, right, the wraparound for that is saying that students or everyone can't download as of January. My concern, though, and let me know what you're thinking, my concern is that between now and January of 2024, a bunch of people will just download the app so that they already have it. So once you have it, you can keep it, but you won't be able to download. So what do you think about that?
I think it's perfectly fine to do that, but the thing is, you learn really good life hacks and stuff on it, so if you weren't to download it in that time period, you wouldn't be able to get life hacks and stuff.
What's your favorite life hack? Just one that you've learned on TikTok.
The TikTok macaroni.
TikTok macaroni? What's that? Really quick.
It's like this it's really cheesy. It's a bunch of cheeses, a little cinnamon. It's delicious. I've heard
Cinnamon in mac and cheese.
Yes, I've heard of it. It's so good.
Maybe I'll have to look that one up.
And this is my least favorite topic of today. How people are bullying Hailey Bailey for being the first ever black Little Mermaid. And I'm going to go see it with my friends. So are you going to go see it?
I am absolutely going to go see it. As a Disney kid, I'm really excited to see the reenactment. And I'm also excited that she is the first black Little Mermaid. Also, I think that racism, right, is still very prevalent in our country. I think that's something that you understand and something that you know. So I think what happens is when these things are put at the forefront, people start having conversations, right, and resurfacing feelings that they have around topics. But I think representation is super important, like you here doing this podcast, right, showing other brown girls all around the world that they can do things that are new and exciting. So I'm really excited for Hailey Bailey and all that this movie is going to bring her.
And I actually learned a lot in your class also. But back to this.
Yes.
I saw a video on a lady dressing in dark makeup saying, "I'm ready for the new Black Little Mermaid." And that to me is very mean and really racist. And I don't think that's right.
Hi, I'm Darius Hillman. Joining me on the next edition of In the Arena, the unsinkable Connie Lindsay. Take a look.
I'm also being and less doing. And when I am being, then I can really focus on where I'm going to have the most impact and how I affect people, not infect people with my attitude.
Join the conversation Tuesday at 7 p.m. on CanTV 19 and streaming on cantv.org and the new CanTV Plus app.
What's up, my rhinos? Today we'll have a special guest, Mr. Reed. We'll be talking about some couple of things, and we'll be getting to know him. So, Mr. Reed, let's get to know you better. Say little things about yourself.
All right. Well, first off, thank you for having me on your show. I'm really excited to be here. I am Antoine Reed. I teach second grade. That's where I got to know Ryan. I grew up in the city of Chicago before moving to Milwaukee. So I enjoy reading, shopping, and most of all, teaching. And I have one sibling, only one sister, because that's all I could put up with. So I'm really excited to be here.
Tell me, how long have you been a teacher?
Yes, I like to say I've been a teacher all my life, right? I teach people all the cool things, right? How to dress, how to shop. No, I'm kidding. So I've been a formal academic teacher for 4 years. This is my 4th year teaching 2nd grade. And before that, I taught in daycare center setting for 4 years where I taught little friends. And now I get to teach big friends.
So, where did you go to college?
I went to college at Cardinal Stritch University up in Wisconsin. I graduated in 2019, and I studied education, secondary education. Fun fact, right? I thought I wanted to teach high school, and then while we're on the topic of bullying, I was very concerned about what teaching high school was going to look like. So I opted out, like senior year of college, and like, you know what? I'm going to teach little friends. So yeah, I went to college in Wisconsin, studied secondary education, but here I am teaching primary school.
What is your favorite part about your job?
My favorite part about my job are moments exactly like this, right? I think we're in school, right? 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, learning lots of things, right? Really exciting. So I get to see those aha moments, right? And things are happening. But I think outside of the classroom is where the learning really happens. So I think fostering relationships, like engaging in the village, creating a community, and then we're able to take that outside of the classroom. So here we are.
I have a few facts about bullying.
All right.
One out of 4 kids bullied. 77% of students are bullied mentally, verbally, and physically. One in 5 students admit to being a bully or doing some bullying. 43% of kids fear harassment in the bathroom at school. 100,000 students carry a gun to school. That last fact was very scary.
All right, I think the stat that's stuck out to me when you said 43% of students fear harassment in the bathroom.
No.
And I think because we spend so much time in the classroom, we forget about the things that teachers don't see, right? And I think you guys spend so much alone time in that space, and that's usually where bullying or misbehaving is happening. So when you're in the bathroom and there's not an adult, right, to intervene or to hear, right, it's usually hearsay. But the stat of 43%, so if I have a classroom of 20 students, right, that means about 12 of those students like are fearing being harassed in that space.
Which is very crazy to me. But bullying in school, let's talk about that. Have you ever been bullied?
Do you want to know the truth?
Yes.
I'm kidding. Yes, I've been bullied more than once. And I think it wasn't until I knew what bullying was, right, to really understand the language around bullying and how it impacts you, to understand that I had actually been bullied. I thought kids were just being kids, right, and people were mean. But I think when I got a little older and realized this is not how schooling should be and this is not what's supposed to happen, yes, I realized I have been bullied.
Do you know why you were bullied?
Absolutely. So there's a few reasons, and I think we're making light of this. We're laughing, but I think bullying is a very sensitive and important topic. But I think remembering back to 2nd or 3rd grade, I was bullied for being smart. Like being academically smart. I was bullied for always turning in my homework. So there was this kid, I won't say his name, but there was this kid who didn't really like me for whatever reason, and he was bigger. Like I was like a little scrawny kid, and he was big and kind of scary actually. And we had a homework bin where we turned in our homework, and he would erase my name and then put his name on it. So every day for like weeks, I would get lunch detention for not doing my homework. Well, I was, right? And it made me feel like very sad and very out of place, but I was too afraid of what would happen next if I told someone.
Personally, I love doing homework, and I sometimes struggle with it, but I love it. And that's just how you learn. Another one is, have you ever seen kids getting bullied at school? What do you do?
Yeah, so as a teacher, you've seen like a plethora of things, right? And I've seen everything from kids being like verbally abused, right, by their peers or even students coming to me and say, hey, I was bullied, right? But I think sometimes it's me giving a voice to what bullying is, right? So I think the first piece for us in the rhinos to understand is that bullying, right, hurts feelings or bodies. I think sometimes we get caught up in thinking that bullying is only about, well, Ryan hit me, right? Or I hit Ryan. But if you say something that's consistent to me that I don't like, and if I've expressed that to you, that's bullying, right? So sometimes it's me giving the students the 3 R's. So the first one is recognize, right? Recognizing bullying. What does that look like? What does that sound like? The second one is what? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Report, right? Report it to a trusting adult. That can be someone in the cafeteria. That can be your teacher. That can be the principal, bus attendant, your parent, right? And the last thing is refusal, right? Using a strong voice, right, to refuse the bullying, saying, hey, I don't really like this, right? And those are usually the skills that I'm giving to students when I recognize bullying or if someone brings it to my attention. Have you ever seen kids being bullied at school?
I think, yes, I have actually, and I had to help them. I'm not going to say their name though. And I had to help them out by telling them, you can do this, you can stand up to yourself. Tell that bully, if you don't stop, I will tell the teacher. And you're going to be able to have that power to tell them, like, I have the power to tell the teacher.
Yeah, I think something that you said that really is important to me as a teacher to hear from a student is power, right? I think sometimes bullying is just a series of control and power, right? They don't feel like they have control in other spaces of their life, so then they try to grasp that control by taking it from someone else. So when you regain that power, right, and you say, you know what, I'm not afraid, I will stand up for myself, I will get help, I think bullying can be, in some ways, prevented.
I remember learning about bullying in class.
You did.
Another one is, why do you think kids bully other kids?
I think I just touched on this a moment ago. I think kids bully other kids just out of a lack of like awareness, right? I think if I don't know that I'm doing something to you, right? Because I think sometimes we don't know what's bullying, right? If you cut me in the lunch line, Ryan, that's not bullying, right? That's something that you did that I didn't like. But if you cut me in the lunch line on Monday, and then again on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, and I tell you that I don't like it, right? It's the consistency that makes something bullying. So I think kids are doing it, one, because they're unaware, right? And two, there's so many things going on in our communities that sometimes adults don't know about. So they're trying to use their power somewhere. If I don't have a voice at home, if I don't have a voice in the classroom, right? If I don't have a voice at my church or wherever those spaces are, I have to have control somewhere. And I think people are just trying to control the narrative.
So, what should kids do if they get bullied?
So
what should kids do if they are being a bully, actually?
If they're being bullied or if they are the bully?
Either one.
All right, cool. Well, I'll answer both, all right? So I think if kids are being bullied, right, I think they should find a trusting adult that they can tell their story to, right? So whether it's physical, whether it's verbal, whether it's just like, this person makes me uncomfortable consistently because they're doing things that I can't really put a name to, I think you should find a trusting adult, right? Because adults typically have language and resources to help you in those processes. And then I think if you are a bully, I think being in spaces where you're allowed to reflect, right? Because I think bullying is a really reflective piece. Understanding, why am I doing this? How does it impact my community? And what can I do to change it?
How can kids help to stop bullying?
All right, so you mentioned that you remember talking about bullying in my class. So someone, Ryan, who sees bullying, but they're not the bully or the person being bullied, what are they called? Starts with the letter B.
Bystander.
Bystander, thank you, right? My job is done here, rhinos. No, a bystander, right? So if someone's a bystander to bullying, I think what you shared with us, right, that you told your friend that you do have power, you can tell an adult. So I think just reaffirming them and giving them the tools and language to stand up. And I think sometimes just acknowledging that it's happening. Because I think when I was being bullied in second grade or third grade, right, I feel like no one saw, no one noticed, no one really cared about it. It was happening. My friends know that I wasn't going to recess with them, and they know that I was like doing my homework, but no one was helping me. No one was saying anything. So I think acknowledging it, right, letting people know it's not your fault, right? If you're being bullied, 9 times out of 10, it has everything to do with the other person and really little or nothing to do with you. So I think just acknowledging that and then giving them the voice and the skills to try to avoid that bullying.
Well, thank you for your time here today, Mr. Reed. We do. We're going to miss you. I'm going to miss you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for having me. And I have one question for you. The tables have
What
turned.
is it?
Am I officially a rhino?
Yes, you are.
Thank you so much, Ryan, for having me.
You're welcome.
I'm Connie Lindsay, one of your hosts for Joy in the Breakthrough. On our next episode, I interview my friend and co-host, Anna Valencia. We talk about her crucible moment and how that propelled her toward joy. Tune in this Monday on CAN TV Channel 19 or stream us at cantv.org or on the new CAN TV Plus app.
Tune in this Monday on CAN TV Channel 19 for an inspiring sit-down conversation with Alderwoman of the 20th Ward, Jeanette Taylor.
I was one of the people who's like, I'm never getting in politics. The hell with these politicians. I'm lazy. Don't do nothing. A good friend of mine said to me, well, you might not get into politics, but politics is getting into you.
Hey, my rhinos. Today on Ryan's Kids Zone, we'll be talking about uniforms, fun with uniforms. And why am I talking about uniforms? Because I wear a uniform. And when I started wearing one, I had to learn ways to make it fun. Like, for boy hairstyles, let's talk about hairstyles also. For boy hairstyles, braids, twist, colorful hair, and even just your average haircut. For girls, braids, locks, different ways to do your braids, colorful hair, even wear it natural. And let's talk about accessories, like my necklaces or even chains and earrings, bracelets, and belts. Next are shoes. If your school doesn't allow colorful shoes, get some colorful shoelaces. Make it fun. And my favorite shoes are my blue Jordans. My favorite accessories are necklaces, earrings, and bracelets. And my favorite hairstyles are braids and natural. And that concludes us to the end of Kids Zone. Ryan's Rumble! Today on Ryan's Rumble, we're doing home lunch versus school lunch. 3 reasons why I love home lunch so much is because I already know what's in my lunch bag. And personally, I have some really good leftovers that I like chicken, fries, and one of these is some people's favorite food, pizza. And I have a really fun fact for you guys. I have this thing called a thermos, and mine is pink. But, you know something cool about it? It keeps your food warm, like soup or noodles or anything that needs to be really warmed. And when we go grocery shopping on Sundays, guess what? I make this little list with Lunchables and snacks and fruits that I love to eat for lunch. And three reasons why I love school lunch so much is because they have chicken nuggets. They're already warm. They have hot dogs. And who can go wrong with hot dogs? And last thing, they have these funny cow jokes on the chocolate milk. What does a cow use for the hula hoop? A hula hoop, which is my favorite joke. But my best thing that I love about it is because I just grab a lunch and go because I don't have the bag of lunch at home, which is my favorite part about it. But the one I love the most is home lunch. What's up, my rhinos? Today on Ryan's Book Nook, we'll be talking about The Babysitter's Club. Personally, I'm super excited to read this book. And I can tell you a little bit about it. So, Christy's mom got married and their family moved in to this rizzy neighborhood across town. The other members of the Babysitter's Club think it's a good opportunity to get new business. But I definitely would have thought of that. But the kids who live nearby aren't very friendly. They criticize Christy for her clothes and make fun of the BSC, which stands for Babysitter Club. And worst of all, they laugh at Lucy, Christy's pet collie, who's getting old and not feeling well. Those kids are really mean. I don't like that. And that's not the right thing to do. But I know if I were that person, I would feel really bad. And when I was at my new school, I felt really nervous to meet other people. I thought they would make fun of me for the way I looked, or maybe for the way I smiled or something. And that didn't feel right to me. So I started feeling more confident, and they didn't do that, which made me very happy. And I got this book from the book fair. If you don't know what a book fair is, it's where your school raises money to get more money for maybe if something's broken in the school, or who knows. And I go to the book fair. I've been to the book fair 3 times this week. And I spent all of my money there because my mommy wouldn't give me any money. She gave me no money. But, I still love the book fair. I love books, and I'm very excited. Which concludes us to the end.